Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for episode 26 of the L&S Crafts channel. I am joining you from the UK, Kent specifically, where I live with my husband and my two children. On this podcast or channel, I generally like to talk about my crafting activities, and this time round they are knitting and crocheting. I don't have any cross stitch to share with you this time round, so sorry about that for the cross stitches out there. Let's see, where do I start? So last time round I shared with you a couple of finished objects, and I would like to kind of update you on those specifically before I go into my new finished objects. So I had project bags which I had sewn, and these are the project bags I had, and I was unsure how to get the little labels that you see other people do on their project bags. I have labels that I bought, and I wasn't sure how to attach them because I'd completed the bag, and then I was thinking, well, what do I do? How do I sew it without having to sew through the lining? So I have figured out a way to do it, and I now have my L&S Crafts tag on here, which is a lovely wooden tag, and I've put one on this one. So I managed to do it, and what I did was I pulled the lining through the bag, back through that way, and then I carefully stitched from the front and made sure that I didn't sew right through to the back of the fabric basically. So that's what I've done, and that's the best I could do, and you can't see it, I mean the lining comes through, so I think I've done quite a good job of that. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out anyway. So yeah, these bags are now ready for gifting, so I'm really pleased with that. So just to show you again, I've got my labels on the bottom here and on the bottom there. I couldn't figure out where to put it on this one because this one's patterned all over, so I just decided to stick it on the bottom where I put this one. Only it seems I've put them on opposite sides. Never mind, that's why they're dodgy bags. So anyway, these are now ready for gifting, but that was how I got around the dilemma of where to stick or how to stitch the labels on. So that's an update on that. The other thing I had from my notes, I had the Little Boxy, which was a pattern by Joji Locatelli, and I'd finished that completely for my daughter, and this is what it looked like. And I was unsure of the length of the sleeves because when she tried it on, the sleeves were a little bit short, and she said that the sleeves were a bit tight around the upper part of her arm. Let me just turn the camera down slightly. There you go. They were a bit tight on the upper section of her arm, and they were too short. They kind of stopped about here, and she wanted something with a bit more length to it. So I unravelled the sleeves. I took the sleeves right the way back to before the decreases, and then I just continued to knit, and I just knit a straight sleeve. I didn't make any decreases or increases, whatever. I have not done anything apart from just knit straight like I would the leg of a sock, and then I stopped when I got to the length that she was happy with and added on the rib again. So I'd say I've probably doubled the arm length. The arm length was probably like this. I'll try and insert a picture of what it looked like before that I took from the last video, or you can go back and watch the last video. But I've literally doubled the sleeve length because that was what she wanted, and I haven't done any kind of shaping, and she's pleased with that. So that is what it looks like now. It fits her really nicely. If I can find, I'm not sure if I managed to get a picture or a little bit of video with her wearing it, because I can't remember. She just she doesn't put it on when I want to take pictures basically, so I don't think I've yet managed to get some like footage of her wearing it, but I'll see what I can do. But that is now a finished object, and I just wanted to update you on that because the pattern, I actually knit the sleeves to the length that was recommended in the pattern, but for her and for her personal taste the sleeves weren't long enough, so I had kind of thought that maybe I was going to have to adjust it, and of course she didn't. She wanted them longer, so then I ended up ripping back and I've adjusted it. So that's that. So sorry, I'm dropping things here. Now I've done that little update, we can move into new finished objects. So the first finished object I have to share with you is the Country Garden Beret, which is a pattern by Ellie Jones of the Craft House podcast, and this is it. I did give away a copy of the complete collection in the last episode, which was kindly donated by Ellie, which came with the beret, the cowl, and the mittens. And since then I decided, I think I worked on the cowl last time, and since that video I decided to work a hat to match. So I've dropped the hat, bear with me. I've got dropsy today, so excuse that. Yeah, so I managed to finish the hat. I've done 2 of these actually since the last video. This is what the hat looks like. It's beret style. So I blocked it over a plate, which didn't block particularly, it didn't make any real change to the style of the hat, so it kind of, you know, I don't see that blocking it really made a difference, and I think that's because of the kind of wool that I've got. I had a few teething issues understanding the pattern at first because it's written in a style that I wasn't used to, having jumped from the Joally Locatelli pattern, and so my brain wasn't quite computing what was being said, but I managed to understand it fine after I kind of had a break and went back to it. It's not nothing to do with the pattern, it was just me not understanding it properly. I wasn't reading it properly. I didn't do a gauge swatch for this hat, and because I just felt like, well, it will turn out fine. I think Ellie's gauge is pretty similar to my gauge, so I didn't bother to do a gauge swatch, and I knitted it as with the same needles as recommended in the pattern. I followed the pattern completely, and it was a quick knit, and that's why I managed to make 2 of them. So this is the beret, and I will show you quickly what it looks like. My daughter has the other one. I mean, I like to wear my hats like this to cover my head completely, which you could get away with that. I mean, it looks fine to me, but my daughter likes to, she has hers kind of on the side how it's supposed to be worn, and she looks really what's the word, she looks really quite sweet with hers, and she shows it off really nicely. It suits her. So this hat isn't likely to be for me, it's likely to be a gift for somebody else, because I like beanies, but I like the way I like the way that you can adjust it. The ribbon fits nicely around here, it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it covers my hair. If I want to put all my hair up inside that, I can do that. I can have it back like that. I like the way that, I like it, I really like it, and I'm hoping that the recipient will like it, along with the cowl that comes with it, because I've made the cowl to go with the hat, or the hat to go with the cowl. I made the cowl first, so yeah, I'm really pleased with it. The pattern is really pretty, and it's got the kind of trellis pattern there, and it's just really, I really like it, and I'm pleased with that. I would definitely recommend the pattern. If you haven't purchased it already, do go over to Ravelry and get the pattern, or you can contact Ellie directly on her website, I should think, and you should be able to somehow get her to email you a copy of the pattern over there. I think, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that you could figure something out. If if you'd like to try the pattern, I'm sure that you can access it by other means than Ravelry if you're not on Ravelry anymore. So yeah, don't let not being on Ravelry stop you from getting that pattern. It's a really good pattern. I enjoyed knitting it. Then I moved from the hat onto, what did I move on to? I moved on to a baby cardigan. I had some yarn that I had stashed away a few months ago, and I felt like it's time to knit it up, and so I pulled out my Sirdar baby cardigan pattern, which is number 1782. I have used this before, and you've got the normal collar version or the hooded version. I like to work the hooded version, and I whipped up this cardigan. This is what it looks like. It's made with Sirdar Crofter DK Fair Isle style yarn. That's the front, that's the back, and it comes with the hood. So I am really pleased with the way this turned out. You can't really see it so much unless I do that. Here we go. That's what it looks like. with the little hood. Very difficult. I'm doing an Ellie here. She's what she does on Craft House Magic. She displays things on her boobs. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. You can see the colours really nicely. I got the buttons from a local market, which were 25p a piece, and I think they're really cute, little smiley faces. And yeah, I'm really loving it. The one thing I made, the thing with this pattern that I found, let me just pull my camera back up. The thing that I found with this pattern is that when I've knit it up previously, the sizing has come up small, so I tend to go up a size in sizes, not needle size, but upper size in size. This time round I went up to, I decided to do the size that I wanted, which was 1 to 2 years, and then I just increased my needle size to see if I could get a bigger size. So I'm hoping it will fit. The baby that I've knit this for is not yet 1, so I'm hoping she will have plenty of time to get into this. So the needle size that was recommended was 3.25mm for the rib, and then 4mm for the body of the cardigan, and I used 3.5mm and 4.5 because my gauge is usually tighter, so I usually go up a size. So yeah, that seems to work out. I mean, I didn't do a gauge swatch that I can remember. I've just done one to check, and I think my gauge is totally off, which doesn't bother me because I think the cardigan is going to be big enough for a 1-year-old anyway, 1 to 2-year-old. I think that's quite big. And the modification I made was I knit it in the round. This pattern is actually written to be worked flat, and I have done it so that I didn't have to do any seams down the side there. And I worked the whole of the body in the round until I got to the sleeve section, excuse me, and then I had to work the front panel separate and the 2 front panels separately, and then the back. So that's what I've done. And I used up, I think, 3 balls of yarn with this, which was what was recommended in the pattern. So I think I did I can't speak today. I think I did really well. I've still got another 3 skeins of yarn in my stash of the same yarn. Actually, I've got the label here. This is the label. Serdar Snuggly Crofter Baby Fair Isle Effect DK yarn, and the shade I'm using is 0200. That's it there. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I've got quite a lot left over, and I'm thinking about making another cardigan. But what I was thinking about doing was perhaps doing the sleeves in a different colour. And making a bigger size. So the bigger sizes require 4 balls of yarn or 5 and 6 balls of yarn. So if I go up a size, then I'm not going to have enough to do a cardigan in the same size. I will end up having to patch in sleeves in a different colour or something like that. So I'm kind of thinking about it, mulling it over. I may just start something in the new year rather than try and get something done quickly, because this is actually a Christmas present. So yeah. So that is that. That is my that's the last finished object I have to share with you. I haven't really been doing a lot of knitting because I had some house guests and I wasn't knitting very much then, and my eczema's flared up on my fingers, so I've kind of been not having so much time with wool, and I've been giving my hands a bit of a break. So I haven't got as many finished objects as I would normally have. I do have some whips though, so let's move into whips. So the first whip I have to share with you is my Vertices Unite shawl, which is currently behind me. I have completed, I think last time around I completed 1 section. I have now completed 3 sections. So I've done, you can see, hopefully you can see this, I've done these 2, and you can see the colours differences. And this one, this was the last one I did. I think, where did I start off? I started off on this section, so you know what yarns I used for that. Then I moved into section 2, which is this one. And let me share with you what yarns I've used on that. I've got my yarn down here. Oops. Told you I've got dropsy. So the yarn I used for that was, let's see. Let me just get my Ravelry page up. Because I'm working with greens and browns, sometimes it's difficult to distinguish between the 2 greens. So I've got a lot of green going on here. And these are the yarns, the greens that I'm using, these three. You see they're pretty close in colour. And then I've got the browns. Oops, I've got ribbons all over the place. The browns. This one's quite obviously different from that one. So I have used for this section, which actually I'm showing you the wrong side, this section here, which is section 2, I have used, let me scroll down, Kelpie, which I think is this colour, bright green, beautiful green. I can find the, yeah, this is the label. It's a Biff Sugar Yarns yarn, and here is the label. I think I might have shown you this last time round. And I have used maple syrup, sorry, sugar and maple. I'm thinking, every time I think maple syrup when I'm picking up this one. So this is Bird and Bird Yarns, yarn, or Mr. B, as I've got on here. And this is the colour Sugar and Maple. All of these yarns are merino nylon base, and they are 75/25. So they're superwash merino. So that's that. These two I have used for section 2 here. This section, it's difficult to show you. There we go. That's section 2, and these are the yarns. And then I moved on to section 3, which is this big section here, and that was just one yarn, plain yarn by itself. And for that one, hopefully, let's see if you can, let's bring it a bit closer. There you go. I'll give you a closer shot of section 2. So that's what the colours look like. They're striped. And then that's just one plain yarn. And that one is this yarn, which is, the label's on the inside. Let's see if I can get it out. It's a gradient green, and the label's stuck inside. It is Jelly Beans yarn, and the colour is, let's see, Dollar. And again, this is superwash merino nylon base, and that's the information there, and the colour is Dollar. So that's what I've used, just this one for section 3. Then I'm going to move on to section 4. I'm hoping to get this all finished by Christmas, because it's a Christmas gift, and I've got 3 sections left to go. So I've done these 3, and I've got another 3 sections to go on this side. And yeah, so we shall see. And just in case you have forgotten, the pattern that I am using is a Stephen West pattern, and it is Vertices Unite shawl. That's it there. And it should look like, or something like this when it's finished. Similar to that. I mean, you can't see the ends, but it looks something like that when it's finished. So yes, I'm excited to get this all finished, and I'm plugging away at it. I'm enjoying it. I have done this one before, as I think I mentioned in my last video. This is my second Vertices Unite shawl. This time around I decided to do just greens and browns, because the person who it's for loves green, and brown was like an obvious colour to kind of combine it with. I'm not doing anything different. I'm following the pattern completely for this one. 3.5mm needles, and yeah, I think section 4 is 2 colours. I think section 4 is 2 colours again. Do I go back to, no, section 4 now. Oh, the section I'm moving on to, section 4, is 1 colour, so I'm going to, I keep dropping things. I'm really sorry I keep dropping and having to bend down. That is 1 colour, so that should be quite quick because it's a small section as well. So hopefully, I'm going to see if I can start that tonight, maybe while watching Strictly, which is on now. I'm missing my Strictly. Anyway, so yeah. So that's the Vertices Unite shawl, which is being housed in my sheepy bag. And the next thing I'm doing is some stripy socks. These are vanilla socks, which I am working on using my Superba Volcano yarn. I think I may have shown this off. This is what the yarn label looks like. Hopefully you can see that. And the colour is Farb. No idea what that means, but it's got this striping effect. So I think this is our one here. It's got that striping effect, and let me show you where I'm at. I'm nearly there. I'm working the 2 feet simultaneously. I've just divided the balls of yarn, so I started at one end of the ball, on the outer edge for one, and then on the inside for the other. So my stripes are slightly different in direction. I think if I do it that way, they're a bit more, they're closer to what they should be, but whatever. I don't think it makes a huge difference because the stripes are a little bit mismatched anyway. So yeah, I've just got to work the foot and then bind off for the toe, and I'm done. That's actually how they should look. That's the top. Cuffs. So I've done roughly 2 inches for the cuffs, which is a 2x2 rib. These are vanilla. Then a heel flap and gusset style heel, and then just plain stocking stitch until I get to the toe, and then I'll do a normal decrease and a wedge toe, and those will be done. These are a Christmas gift as well, but I think I want to concentrate on trying to work through the Vertices Unite shawl, because the socks can be finished pretty quickly because all I've got is to just plain stocking stitch till I get to the toe. One thing I did want to mention about this one is I'm using a different type of needle. My friend Emma recommended some higher bamboo circular needles. I generally like to use for my socks 9-inch circular needles, and I've been using Chalgu ones, and these are the metal ones here. These are my Chalgu 9-inch circulars. I use a 2.25mm needle, and I love working my socks like this. However, my friend Emma mentioned that she was trying some higher bamboo circular knitting needles, so I thought I'd give them a try, and that's what the packaging looks like. Same size, but these are bamboo and they are higher. And I have these on this sock to see how they work out, and that's what they look like. And they're nice and smooth, and I do enjoy knitting with them, but I've come to the conclusion that I really do like my metal Chalgus. They glide a lot smoother. These ones hold stitches a lot better, so they don't slip off. But I really do like the higher metal ones. So yeah, I will use both of them anyway because I do like both of them. But if I had to choose, I would choose the Chalgu ones. So just thought I'd share that with you. So that's those. My last whip that I have on my needles is the Nature's Walk blanket. So I'm not doing the complete Nature's Walk blanket using all of the squares. What I decided to do, as I mentioned in my last video, was to rip back a blanket that I was working on at the time and start using some of the patterns from Sandra Paul's Nature's Walk blanket pattern. This is a crochet project. I saw it on Ellie's podcast, who is Craft House Magic, and she's doing the whole blanket with the set that comes with the yarn set that actually is to be purchased to work the Nature's Walk blanket, which is a knit along that is going on at the moment. I hope I've explained that properly. Anyway, so I decided to have a go at working on, this is a free pattern, have a go at working on the Nature's Walk blanket, but just one of the squares. This one happens to be the berries one. So that's what it looks like. This one is called Berries, and it's labelled as part 2. This is a free pattern available on Ravelry to follow for the make along. I'm not sure if it's going to be free forever and a day, or if it's going to be free for a limited period of time, but I picked it up and I've been having a go at this pattern. I have done, let me show you, I've ripped back the whole of the grey blanket I was working on, and I've started from scratch, and I've done all of these squares using that pattern. So this is the Berries pattern from Sandra's Nature's Walk pattern, and I really like it. The only thing I have yet to decide is if I can't get hold of the yarn again, which I bought from B&M stores in London locally, and the yarn is like £1.99 a ball, and it's is it Aran weight? It's quite thick. Yeah, it looks like it's about an Aran weight yarn. And I bought the yarn a while ago. I started that other blanket, and then I decided to switch tact and change to doing these ones. And I'll just put the whole lot together. And now I'm trying to decide whether or not I go back and see if I can get more of the grey, or if I add different kind of muted colours to the pattern and to the blanket. And I came across a yarn in, which shop was it? Wilko's. And it's this Lauren cake wool yarn, a lovely purple, and I was trying to decide whether these would work together, and I'm thinking maybe not. I don't know if I want to have purple with the grey, or if I should just try and get another grey if I can't get the one that goes with this. I was thinking maybe the grey would just stick to the grey and make it one complete grey blanket. I'm not sure yet, but I only have a small amount of this wool left yarn, and that's here, that I've ripped back from my last square, and it's kind of a twist. It's a very twisted yarn. Hopefully you can see that. That's what it looks like. Anyway, so I'm not sure I'm going to get another square out of this, but I will give it a shot, and then I've got to decide what to do about continuing the blanket. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these squares, and that would just, to make a decent sized blanket, that would just be one row, and then I would start the next row possibly with another colour, or possibly just go and get another grey from somewhere else if I can't get this exact same yarn. So I don't know, I'm undecided, but I wanted to share with you that on this project I decided to have a go at reading the pattern from the chart, and I actually felt that because the instructions on the pattern are written as well as charted, I thought it would be a good opportunity to have a go at working from a crochet chart. I can work from knitted charts or knitting charts, but I've never tried working from a crochet chart, and I actually found it quite easy. Once I got the hang of reading for the first block that I did, it was actually really easy to follow, and much as I would, well, the chart is laid out really nicely. As I said, it's a free pattern, so it should be okay to show that. But it's written out really nicely. It's very clear, and I was surprised by how easy I found it to understand the chart. So I would say, if you are a crocheter who wants to perhaps have a go at reading the chart, this is a really good pattern to try, because you've got the written instructions if you get a bit confused that you can refer to, but you've also got the chart to give it a go and, you know, see how you get on. It's a really good pattern to have a go at, and I really like the way it looks. And the other thing I'm undecided about was whether to try, because there are other squares that she has designed in this Nature's Walk pattern, and I'm not sure whether, if I change the colour, if I stick to using the berries pattern, or if I use one of the other patterns that she has in her overall pattern collection. So there's a lot of decisions to make on this. I guess first of all I just need to go back to the shop and see if I can get hold of the same grey yarn, and if I can't, then I've got to find an alternative, and then at that point decide whether I want to continue with the berries pattern or switch to another square from the Nature's Walk blanket. But I will have to cross that bridge when I come to it. I think that is a little bit too much to be thinking about at the moment in the run up to Christmas, with all the shopping and stuff that I've got to do. So that's what I have kind of put this pattern, this project on hold, because it's not something that is Christmas related. It can be done at any time. So that one is on hold, and it's being housed in this bag. I think this is a Woolly Mama Yarns bag, but I can't swear by it. But yeah, those are all my whips. That's it for whips. I did have a giveaway winner that I suppose I should have announced it on here first, but I had one entry for the Gypsophilia socks pattern giveaway, and that person was Victoria Knits, and she should have the pattern by now. So thank you for entering, Victoria, for that giveaway, and I hope you're enjoying working the pattern. Now I am moving on to incoming. So I have in my Primark bag, which is a nice lovely ripped Primark bag, I have some yarn that I have managed to get hold of, and some things that I have been gifted, and I want to share those with you. So where's that? I feel like I've lost something. There it is. I'm so unorganised today, I'm really sorry. So I managed to win a giveaway by which was hosted by Ellie of Craft House Magic for her Country Garden collection knit-along, and my bag of goodies arrived. I wasn't actually sure what I'd won. I was surprised that I'd won anything, because I was kind of I added my, what was I making? My scarf, my cowl to the Country Garden knit-along thread in Ravelry, just because I wanted to show off what I'd done, and I actually managed to win something in the process, so it is possible. But Ellie sent me all these lovely goodies. So I have a bag here that is from Attic Spin Dye Yarns. It came in this cute little bag, and in the bag I got a little note from Attic at Spin Dye Yarns. I think it was her that put in a tea bag, which was really nice. I haven't tried that yet, obviously. Or maybe not. Maybe that wasn't her. No, her one's there. There's her one. I'm getting them mixed up. So this one is peppermint and licorice, which I have yet to try. So I'm going to put that there. And I wanted to show these things to you before I started to make use of everything. Then I have... Oh, look, there's more. There we go. I've got a couple of stitch markers. I think that's everything now. So I have a couple of stitch markers, a fan one, hopefully you can see that there, a fan stitch marker, and it's a spinning wheel. Look at that, a spinning wheel stitch marker. And they are both these little lobster clasps. I'm sorry, this is getting a bit, I'm really clumsy today. They're both lobster clasps, I think that's what you call them there. And those are really cute. Then I've got a little lavender pouch, which is really handy. Smells lovely and fresh. Swish it around a bit. Lovely. And then I have these two little mini skeins of yarn, and I'm not sure what this one is, but look at the colour on that. That is beautiful. That's stunning. I love those colours. Perfect. Lovely. And then this one, actually, this has a label on it. This one says Superwash Merino Nylon 2575, and this is Gleam Through the Bower, I think that says. I can't read it, my eyes are not so good. Hopefully you can see there what that says, and that's what this colourway is. Another mini skein, which, yay, that's really, really cute. I love those colours. This is my favourite because I love that blue, as you know, and turquoise, and any kind of variation of blue is my favourite colour. So that was really nice. Then I've got another little bag here, which is from Vivian. I think this is a donation to the prize. Vivian from Sit and Knit with Vivette, and in it there are handmade stitch markers. I hope I've got this correct, but if I haven't, I apologise for messing it up. But I've been so excited. I was so excited to open the package. I opened it already, and then I didn't want to mess things up, but I think I'd already kind of messed up the order that they came in, so apologies if I've got it wrong. There, look at these, look at these. I've got two stitch markers. One is a lobster clasp and one is like an earring clasp. Look at that, these are beads. This one actually moves around a bit. That looks like a little ribbon here, and this one is made with beading, and I'm not sure if I can show that, but it's flexible. Look, it moves, like it's flexible. I've not got any like this. And she drops it. I told you I've got dropsy. There we are. So that's two stitch markers, which are really cute. So thank you very much for those. And as if that wasn't enough, when I opened the bag, there was a skein of yarn in here. Yeah, that's everything from Ellie herself, which is DK weight, I feel. I think that's, yeah, that feels like DK weight. Purple Rain skein of yarn. Look at that. Beautiful. It's gradient. So it's got, gradient, is that the right word? Tonal. I think tonal's a better word. Purple. Beautiful purple yarn. Very soft. And it's a superwash merino nylon base. So thank you so much for that, Ellie. And along with that, I have a Craft House Magic badge. So yay! I think I'm going to gift it to somebody else, because I already have one of these on my bag. So I think this will be a gift to somebody else. But thank you so much to Ellie for all of these lovely goodies from her giveaway. I was I was so surprised that I won anything. So that was really, really lovely. Then, as if that wasn't enough, Ellie sent me a copy of her Country Garden socks pattern, which I am itching to try when I can get round to doing something other than Christmas knitting. I will be having a go at this. So this is another thing that I got, which was really kind of Ellie. Then, more incoming. I showed you this earlier. I bought this yarn because I saw it in Wilko. I was going to give it as a gift potentially, or use it for my blanket, the grey one, but I'm not sure what to do with that at the moment. I'm still undecided, but I'm sure I can get more of those. This is like an Aran weight yarn, and it was, let's see, very cheap, £2 in Wilko's, and it's acrylic, and it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. There's the label, and it's really soft. And it's like it's a very dark purple. Really, really nice for winter knitting. Then, there's more. My lovely friend Emma decided to gift me some yarn. And I got these. These are from Ellie at Craft House Magic. This feels like a bit of an advertisement for Craft House Magic. I love her yarns. They are lovely. This is Biff sugar yarns. I have made a cardigan out of Ellie's yarns. I do really love her yarns, and I would recommend you go over and have a look in her shop. However, I'm not being paid to showcase her yarns, people. Honestly, I'm not. But I love these. So this one is Born to Run, and it's a stellina. So it's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina yarn, and it is beautiful. Hopefully you can see the sparkle in that. Oh, it just looks so stunning, and I can't wait to get started on this. Maybe I think this was probably what I was thinking of using the Country Garden socks pattern to make myself some socks out of these, because I love that yarn. That is so pretty. And then there I got the I'll Be There For You colourway in the same base. So superwash merino nylon and stellina. So that's got sparkle too. And they're gorgeous. And then Ellie sent me a skein of the bubblegum yarn, which is superwash merino nylon 75-25 base. And look at that. Look at those colours. Let's see if I can put it down to there so you can see. Look at those colours. Isn't that yummy? Ooh, I'm loving that. I'm absolutely loving these. Ooh. Yes, so I have yarn galore. Then I picked up some more needles, because who doesn't need more needles, right? So I had some issues with the knitting the sleeves on the little boxy with the needle sizes that I had. None of my needle sets seemed to go small enough to do children's sized arms, and the baby cardigan, the arms on the baby cardigan, this one, I used the 9-inch circulars to do these as well. So, or did I? No, maybe I didn't use them. Let me see. I think maybe I did these magic loop, and while I was working these I got a bit fed up, and so I ordered the smaller 9-inch circulars. That's probably what happened. So anyway, as I said earlier, my friend mentioned to me that she had been trying the higher bamboo needles. So I thought I would try Chalgu ones and see how I got on with those. So I ordered 3 pairs of the Chalgu premium bamboo 9-inch circular needles, and I got 3 different sizes: 3.5 millimeters, 4 millimeters, and 4.5. And primarily I got these to work on sleeves, because then I don't get that kind of the difference. You don't see the difference along the sleeve when, how can I describe it? When I'm doing these magic circle, I can see where I have moved the needle. I'm not explaining it very well, but it shows that I'm not using a fluid 9-inch circular needle, and I don't like that. So I thought I'd give it a try using some 9-inch circular needles to do the sleeves, because on the smaller sizes, because why not? I just thought I'd give it a go. So yeah, so those are all my goodies. I have all of this incoming. If you've got any questions about any of the things I've shown you. They were, these Chalgu needles, actually they vary in price. I've got American prices here. So, they vary in price depending on who I ordered them from. So, you know, there's no point really telling you the price because it depends where you order them from. Anyway, so I think that is about it. That is everything. That's everything I've got to show you. Like I said, not a lot of finished objects this time round. However, I have been slowly working on things, and I guess I've got more incoming than anything else. That's it. We are moving into Christmas. It's fast approaching. I've seen lots of blogs, vlogs even, on YouTube, and I've been watching some of them. I'm finding it difficult to keep up with everybody's vlog, because there's so many that just keep popping up in my feed every single day, and I just can't possibly keep up. And so I try to catch 1 or 2 here or there. I've been doing that this morning. And I like to try and keep up with my ordinary podcasts as well. So yeah, that's a lot of time, isn't it? And in between that, I'm trying to get my Christmas knits finished. I'm trying to get my Christmas shopping done. I've got lots of events that are popping up all over the place now. So yeah, I guess my next video is not going to be up until the new year. So as usual, you will find links in the description box below the video. If you want to leave any comments or suggestions, then please do that in the comment section below the video as well. Click the like button to let me know if you liked the video, and also subscribe if you haven't already to support my channel. That is it from me. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Have a lovely Christmas if you celebrate. Bye.